Hello everyone. In the previous video, we discussed the approach to the problem merge case sorted lists, where we discussed that we have to divide the problem into smaller parts, chunks of two, and then combine each set, and we repeat that process till we get one single sorted list. And that is what we'll be implementing over here, this divide and conquer or merge sort approach, if you will. Now, I have saved you some time by bringing over a helper function which is merge two sorted lists. I will not be going into too many details except letting you know that it is an exact copy paste of what I did in the previous video while solving the question merge two sorted lists. I've literally taken that code, I've pasted it over here, and I will be reusing this logic as it is. So there is a video waiting for you in which I explain this entire function to you in very, very fine detail. For now, we will just assume that this is a function which takes two lists at a time and returns it as one single sorted list. Alright. Now, in this video, we have to implement the rest of the portion, and we will start that off by handling some edge cases that have been given to us in examples 2 and 3. So I say that if lists, if it is null altogether, if they don't give us any input for some reason, or if they do give us an input but the length of this list happens to be 0, so there are no lists actually to process. In that case, we will simply return null for the rest of it. We discussed, right, that till we have only one list remaining, so let's keep that as our primary condition. While the length of lists, basically the number of lists that we have left to process, while it is greater than 1, we keep on doing some work or the other. Now, what is that work? As I said, we will take two lists at a time and then merge each of them together. So we can have this these merge lists, all of these merge lists, right? After, for example, after the first pass, we will get three lists left, the ones in green over here. So we have to store them somewhere. So I say that these merge lists can be stored in an array. Now we will loop over our lists. The length of the list is k. This is something I did in the previous video as well, replacing list.length with k. Right now, on the other hand, actually, I would like to use list.length for a reason. And if you can catch why I did that instead of using k over here, then kudos to you. You have caught on very, very well. Here, I will iterate two at a time so that I can get groups of two lists at a time. Now, my first list will be simply the one at the ith index. My second list will be ideally the one next to the ith index, right? I plus 1th index. But that may not always be the case, as we may have an odd list left over sometimes. So we will of course check if I plus 1, if it happens to be less than the length of the list, then we can simply have this list over here, the one next to I, right? Otherwise, we will have a null value over here. Okay. Now that we have our lists, we need to merge them and push them to our current answer that we are making up. So I say, okay, fine, let's push our answer over here. What exactly do we push in this array? We will take list 1, we will take list 2, we will merge them using our helper function over here, which takes in two lists and checks, compares each element, each lowest element with the other list. Whatever is lower, it keeps on arranging it in ascending order and then returns the list. That is basically what it does. If you want, you can pause and go through the function. All right. For now, let's go back up and use this function. Merge two sorted lists, and we give L1 and L2 as our input. Now, what will be now this while loop will keep going on, right? So what will be the array that should be sent as an input so that we can run this loop again, which will then store these values, right? So I say that let's just keep merge lists for it, that is storing all the sorted lists that we are making up so far. And since we are using lists as our primary reference, let's just say, okay, fine, let's just reassign this lists to the value of merge lists. So this lists after the first pass will now contain these linked lists over here. And after that, the next pass will give us that in our lists variable. And this will go on till we have only one linked list remaining, which is when we will exit this while loop. Once we exit this while loop, we have to return our answer. And because we only have one list remaining, that will be found at the 0th index over here. So let's try to run this and see how accurate are we. Oh, there is a network error. Give me 1 second. Okay, the basic cases have been accepted. Let's try to submit this. All right, we have submitted it and it's a pretty good solution, as you can see. And that is it for this video. I will see you in the next one, so follow for more.